today is Monday. It's the 11th day of January 2016, and this is Wayne Goldsboro Television. I'm Wayne Alley.
And I'm Kate Daniels.
And welcome to the program.
Welcome.
How are you doing?
I'm so good. I'm so good.
Today's the 11th.
How?
And
how?
And how?
How?
And how? You know, last week you were on assignment.
Yes,
you did a wonderful job.
Thank you.
And we want to thank Pat Garner for sitting in last week. She did a great job.
Oh, she is a special girl for sure.
She is that. She
can do everything. She's one of those.
Yes, she is. She can do absolutely everything. You just ask anybody that works for the county.
That's right.
And you mentioned the name Pat Garner. Oh, she can do anything. Yeah.
She can do anything.
Yeah.
Oh, good, good.
Okay, today is the 11th. That means today is Step in the Puddle and Splash Your Friends Day. First of all, we got to find a puddle.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's today. Just want to make a note of that.
Random things.
One of those random
things.
Random things. Random things.
Thank you, sir.
Oh, you're welcome, welcome, welcome. The Wayne County Office of the Board of Elections is, and we talked to Beverly York here, and you're going to see this coming up in a day or two. But the Board of Elections is looking for people to help with the upcoming elections as poll workers. If you'd like to become a poll worker, a volunteer as a poll worker, you must be a registered voter in Wayne County, number one. You must be a registered voter. You must be customer service oriented, and you must be comfortable with basic computer functions. Now, this is a fun job. It's a very long day.
Sure.
Polls open at 6:30 and close at 7:30. It's a 13-hour day. But, man, it's fun. And if you're really into politics particularly, or if you're just interested in helping people go through the voting process, this is a great opportunity for someone. Especially if you have to be a registered voter in Wayne County, but especially if you're new to the area and you want to meet some people. This is one way to meet new people. But you need to call Beverly at 919-731-1411, 919-731-1411. Again, we'll tell you more about this, and we'll have an interview with Beverly York here in a few days.
That's great. What an important way to contribute back and be a part of something that certainly is going to, the elections certainly take the course of our own communities and our state and our country. So, neat thing to do if you've got the time and ability to help out. So
That's
also
exactly
coming up very, very soon.
What else is coming up very, very soon?
As in tomorrow, which is the 12th. On Tuesday,
right.
There's been a lot of talk about Cherry Hospital. I know recently in the Goldsboro News-Argus there was an article published, and Curtis Media Group had covered that it will be opening in 2016.
Right.
So the Mental Health Association in Wayne County will hold its annual membership meeting tomorrow, January the 12th, at 6 p.m. at St. Luke United Methodist Church. St. Luke is located on East Pine Street here in downtown Goldsboro. And Mr. J. Lucky Welsh, who is the CEO of Cherry Hospital, is going to be speaking about the new Cherry Hospital. Ooh. So I've not met him. He has got one great first name. How about that? Lucky.
Lucky, yeah.
Lucky. So
he's been in here. We've had him.
Great.
We've had him, and he is a great guy.
Good.
He is just a great guy.
Well, he's going to be there tomorrow night at St. Luke. The meeting is, of course, open to everyone out in the public. They would like for you to come. There will be refreshments served. You do not have to register ahead of time. But come hear from Mr. Lucky Welsh, who's the CEO of Cherry Hospital, that will talk about Cherry Hospital and when it's going to open and who it will serve and all of that.
Boy, I'll tell you, this is great news.
It is.
It's been a long time coming,
Sure
and
has.
it's a beautiful facility. And can't wait to see it.
Great.
Just
great.
Can't wait. In fact, we're gonna go out there with a camera, and
very nice.
when it opens, and we'll bring you some video back.
Good.
Okay.
Good.
Yeah, that's going to be so much fun. That's going to be great.
That's great.
You know, from time to time we have Dr. Stephen Peters in from Cherry, the head of psychology out there, and once or twice he brought Lucky Welsh in. But Stephen, from time to time, will give you an update about where we stand with it. But it's almost time.
2016.
Which happens to be right now.
Which is right now. Somehow it's 2016. So, coming up.
By the way, I want to mention also February is Black History Month, and folks down in Mount Olive, Vicki Darden and family and friends, going to be reminding you about the annual Black History Month parade that will be February 27th. And we'll be on Brazil Street, Brazil Avenue in Mount Olive. Lineup begins at 11:30. If you want information about that, you can go to an email address that is as follows. Okay, Well, kind of go with me on this. Lizbeth, Lizbeth, dot Lewis. Lizbeth, Lizbeth, dot Lewis 919. That's dot Lewis, Lewis 919 at gmail.com. And I'll repeat that throughout the week, okay?
Or you can just email one of us and we'll forward it to you.
Yes.
That might be easier. We want to hear
Yes.
from you anyway.
What a great idea. Why didn't I think of that?
I wish our emails could pop up automatically on the screen right about now.
How did you do that? Boom. There you all right, very good. Okay, let's go to our next segment, and we'll be back after that. Our guest in the studio is Mr. Alan Lumpkin, who's director of our tax department for Wayne County here. Alan, how you doing?
I'm doing great, Wayne.
It's great
Thank
to
you
see
for having me.
Man, you only get in here once a year, and you got to do better than that.
I'll try to do better, Wayne. I apologize.
No.
I'm just busy.
I know you are. I know
Busy,
you
especially
have
this time of year.
Especially in January.
Yes,
Yeah, you have
yes.
a busy job, and I appreciate you coming in. I do, because you are busy right now. We just passed the deadline.
We did.
January 5th?
For 2015 bills, January 5th was our deadline for paying timely. Now there's a 2% penalty of interest been added to that, and that's good through the month of January.
2% interest.
2% interest was added as of January 6th, and that's good through the month of January. 0.75% interest is added after that per month for every month it's not paid.
Now, over the last several years, we have, as residents of Wayne County, found that our tax rate has dropped
Yes.
considerably,
It
as
has
a matter of
dropped. It
fact.
has
We were
dropped.
over 70 cents at one time,
We
well
were.
over 70, and now we're at what, 66?
66.5 cents, yes, sir.
66.5 cents per $100.
Correct.
Now, what does that mean for a house that's, say, valued at around, say, picking a number, just say $100,000?
That's about $665.
There you go. There you go. So that's a really good tax rate. So the difference between what it was and what it is now is per $100,000 is well over $100.
Yeah, it is, and it's our county's done a good job. We have reduced the rate, and even in tough times, you know, the economy is trying to recover, but even during those tough times, the rate was reduced some, and to try to help the citizens of Wayne County, taxpayers.
And in fact, some of the adjoining counties are considerably higher than that.
Yes, they are.
Considerably higher.
They certainly
than
are.
that. So the deadline was the 5th, and those who did not pay by the 5th are now due to pay a 2% interest on
correct.
top of what they owe now. Is there ever a time that you forgive that?
No, sir. Unfortunately, we cannot forgive interest. I can't forgive it. The commissioners can't forgive it. Interest cannot be forgiven. I mean, basically, the bills went out last August, and
So
you,
that's plenty of time.
you have plenty of time to pay. And unfortunately, the way the statutes are written, there is no forgiveness for the interest.
Right. The way the statutes are written.
Correct.
All right. So you got to do this. You don't have any choice in
Now,
that.
at this point in time, if it's not paid, or if it was not postmarked in the United States Post Office by 5 o'clock Tuesday evening, then it is considered untimely.
Okay. So it has to be postmarked by 5 o'clock Tuesday, January 5th, 2016.
Correct.
And like you said, they went out in August.
Yes, sir.
That's
We
plenty of-
met
that
it.
should be plenty of
Actually, it was
time.
late July, well, early August. Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
early August.
It was.
Let's talk a little bit about vehicles, the vehicle
Vehicles.
taxes, and how that's done. That changed in the last year or three.
It changed in November 2013.
Right.
We transitioned from where we used to collect the taxes to now you pay your taxes when you renew your tags now. It's been a good change, really. It really has. It's been fairly smooth. We still have a few people that come in the office want to pay us, but we have to direct them down to the DMV tag agent office, and they pay down there now. But it's where it used to be. You would go get your tag. 3 months later, you would get a bill from us to pay your taxes, and then you had a certain amount of time to pay those. Now you pay it up front along with, you get your inspection done, you go to DMV tag office, or you can do it online or mail it in, and you pay your taxes, tag, everything. It's a one-stop shop now, so it's a lot easier.
Which is a fantastic way to do it.
It is. It's very good.
I wish
It's
we'd been
worked out
doing
very
that many years ago, but it's done, and it's working out very well, especially in the area of collecting of taxes, because it works well for us.
Yes, sir, it does.
Heretofore, there were at times problems
There
with
was.
Collecting taxes on vehicles. And
There
such.
was, and by us doing after the fact, sending the bill out, a lot of times people would wait till the next year when they got ready to renew their tag, and then they had to come pay us first, and they were almost a year behind every time they did it.
Almost a year behind every time. But now, number one, you have to have your car inspected before you can even get a tag.
Correct.
And then once you get your car inspected, then it's almost immediate. It goes into the computer system, and it's right there almost immediate. You could have it all done within an hour.
You can. You really can.
Which I have done. I've gotten inspected and then go and get the tags. But the fact that, that this is done in that manner, it takes a load off you. There was always a bottleneck, it seemed.
Yes, sir.
So your department's working much better, and tax collections are much better now in that regard.
It is. We still handle the valuation side of it. We still, on the listing side, we still handle the valuation part. If there's discrepancies, such as you feel like the vehicle's value is not worth what we're saying it is, you can call and talk to us, and if it has high miles or has damage that we don't know about, we can potentially adjust that before you pay your tax bill at the DMV office.
So you want to be fair about it.
Certainly.
Of course, you want to,
certainly.
If there's a situation that is not common or average, then you'll help.
Correct. And I will say, Wayne, a lot of people think their vehicle, all of us think it's probably overvalued then unless you're trying to sell it.
Yeah.
If it's for taxes, but it does go on the value of the car as of January 1st, and it's retail value, not trade-in, not anything like this. It's retail value as of January 1st of the tax year.
Retail value.
Yes, sir.
As of January 1.
It's what you could buy that car off the lot for as of January 1st of that year.
Okay, so if you're looking at around December 15th or so, at what the value of your vehicle may be, you go back to January
1st, yes, sir.
Which probably or possibly gives reason to not to buy a car, say at the beginning of the year or at the end of the year.
I will tell that's another caveat. That when you buy a car off of the sales lot, the first time you buy it, it's based on your sales price. And when you go to DMV, we have nothing to do with that value. It's based on the sales price you pay at the DMV. The DMV gets that information from the salespeople.
Right.
And your taxes are based on that the first year. Every year thereafter, we do an evaluation and everything on that.
Okay. All right. So before we move on to the next topic, the number to call, let's put that up on the screen there. That telephone number, what is that number?
919-731-1461.
If anyone has any questions about their county taxes, not state or federal, but county taxes, talk to your office at that number.
Yes, sir.
73, what you said.
1461.
1461, that's it.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Every 8 years, the county reevaluates property.
We do.
And this is a very interesting topic to me. I find it interesting. And a lot of people really misunderstand or don't understand how this works.
It is probably the most misunderstood part of our job, I would think.
Well, what are they not,
especially right now.
What is it they don't get? Well, now, when did we do the last one?
The last was 2011.
Okay, so it comes up again in
2019, correct.
2019.
Correct.
And this is fifth, so it's 4 years. So we're right in the middle now.
We're right in the middle, yes,
4
sir.
years from now.
And what happens is that this is a state statute. We have to do it at least every 8 years. Some counties choose to do it more often. We still do it on an 8-year cycle. We have to value property as of the market value as of that date, that January 1st date. So whatever that house would sell for on the open market, that's what we put a value on.
Okay.
That value stays the same for that 8-year period unless you make changes. If you add to or take away something, we adjust that.
Okay.
We cannot adjust values in between those 8-year periods because of the economy.
Right.
This has been a big issue this last few years because in the past we did a revaluation, say in 95, 2003. Once we did our reval, we set those values as of that date. The housing market was just going crazy. It would keep going up, so our values were low all the time pretty much. But we had to keep that constant value when the economy was going up, 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 up. Market value was here, we were still level.
You couldn't change.
Couldn't change it. We couldn't increase it.
But then,
2008, 2009 hit us.
Right.
So we did our revaluation. We put our values in 2011. Well, unfortunately, after our 11 reval, the market was still had not finished adjusting itself.
Right.
It actually went down a little bit after 2011. So in some cases right now, your tax value may be a little bit higher than what the market is, even still now.
Yeah.
We can't adjust that if it's strictly economic. Now, if you had physical damage such as termite damage, leaking that's not been repaired, stuff like that, we can adjust for physical problems. If it's just strictly economic, we cannot adjust that. And we have people refinancing their homes now. They go get a current appraisal of what the value is today. Then they come into us and say, well, you know, you valued my house $5,000 more than what it should be. You need to adjust it. We can't do it.
Can't do anything because you go back to 2011.
Exactly.
That's where it starts.
And that is our biggest misconception. And see, before, when the value was still 11, our value was low, the appraisal was higher. We didn't hear a lot out of that.
No, you didn't.
But I couldn't, at the same token, I could not adjust it up.
Could not make an adjustment.
I could not make an adjustment. So that's one of our biggest, we try to get the word out, and I appreciate you bringing that up because that is one of our biggest misconceptions, that we can just adjust the value because you have a new appraisal done.
Yeah.
We can't do that.
Now, if you have damage to the home, as you mentioned termite, or if you have fire damage, and maybe you maybe you lose a room, but what if you add on a new bedroom, or you put in a new bathroom or something like that? That elevates the value of the home.
Certainly, yes, sir. But even then, we have to add it on back to our 2011 schedule of values, whatever this cost per square foot was as of 2011. We have to add it on to be equitable throughout the county, and that's the purpose of revaluation. It's not to get more tax dollars. People think, you're trying to raise my value to get more tax dollars.
No.
That's not the case. It's to keep equity in the county. During the 8-year cycle, things change. Whereas commercial property may have been a certain percentage of the tax base in 2011, in 2019 it may totally flip-flop.
Right.
So these commercial values may skyrocket, residential may go down possibly, or vice versa. So it's basically to redistribute the values of the property to market value and for equity purposes.
All right, and that's how it works. And as you say, this is written in stone.
Oh yes,
it cannot be changed.
It's statutory, yes.
It is statutory.
It is statutory.
It can't be changed. All right. And again, if you have any questions about that, that phone number is 919-731 something, something,
1461.
1461. That's what I was going to say.
Correct.
All right. All right. Now, what else do we want to add about what may be going on with the tax office right now here in Wayne County?
During the month of January, this is our listing period.
Listing.
We still have to list taxes. Now, years ago, 20, 30 years ago, we had sites all throughout the county where you go list your taxes.
Right.
And people line up and you go list your livestock, your jewelry, all your personal property, stuff like that. Pets.
Airplanes.
Exactly.
Boats.
So that's changed a lot now. We've streamlined that a tremendous amount through statutes and everything, of course. But now what you need to list during the month of January is if you own personal property, which is considered mobile homes, boats, motors, jet skis, airplanes, business personal property. If you own a business, your equipment or computers or anything associated with your business needs to be listed during that month of January. We send out abstracts to people that have listed in the past. They get a listing form every year. If it's a new business or new mobile home or something, you need to come into our office the first year to get established. And then after that, we send a listing form out.
And that sure makes it easier for people to list, because if nothing has changed,
you sign it and just tell us you still have the property. That's exactly right. I had a question yesterday. I'm glad you brought that up too. We had a gentleman call from another county. He had wanted to know where his listing form was, so I had to, ask a few questions. He only owns real estate here in Wayne County. Some counties send a listing form to everybody in the whole county, whether you own real estate, personal property, everything. They send them out. A lot of times it's smaller counties that do that. We here in Wayne County are on what we call a permanent listing system for real estate, which means we list your real estate we get inspections, permits for new houses, stuff like that.
Right.
We list it like that. We get deeds that transfer property from one owner to another. We get that process. So you don't get an abstract in the mail in January for real estate. However, if you make changes during the previous year, such as an addition, build a new house, tear something down, you need to call us during this month of January to let us know what you've done.
Okay.
On the real estate part of it.
Okay.
But so if you own just real estate and you have made no changes, there's really nothing for you to do during the listing time.
You don't have to do anything.
No, sir.
During the listing time.
During the listing time.
Just wait for the bill.
Exactly. Exactly.
Okay.
But personal property abstracts, just to keep in mind, you do have to list your mobile homes, boats, motors, airplanes, jet skis, stuff like that.
Yeah. Personal items.
Personal property and business personal property.
Business personal property.
Even farmers. Farmers are big business.
Yes.
They have to list their equipment, their tractors, their combines, their hog house equipment, anything like that has to be listed with us every year.
What about outbuildings, utility buildings, and that sort of thing? All that is listed, and if nothing has changed, then just sign it and send it in.
Correct. Now, if you did build an outbuilding, a storage building during 2015, then you need to call and let us know that.
Yeah. If somebody built it themselves, that is considered to be an addition.
That's an addition. Anything you add to your property, yes, sir. And it's really, it's twofold. We do have to need to add it to the tax books. However, it's also twofold too. A lot of times the insurance companies contact us. If something happens to that building, they contact to look at our records and say, well, yeah, it was there. They verify it that way. So it's good to have it on our records too, just for backup purposes.
That's a very good point. So you have to list it with the tax office, because if something happens, if it burns to the ground, you contact your insurance company. If it's not listed, they don't know that you had it.
Potentially.
Yeah.
Potentially.
Yeah. Okay. Good point. That's a very good point. All right. What else do we have? We've covered this, that, and others.
We've covered a big wide range.
Yes,
One other thing I want to mention is the exemptions we have in place. The elderly exemptions, stuff like that. That's a biggie too.
That is a biggie.
We're now starting to do that now. This is listing time. It's time to do that. We have several exemption programs. It's a senior citizen disability exemption.
Right.
That is for people that are 65 years of age or older, or 100% disabled if you're not 65 yet.
Okay.
You have to own and reside in your own home. It could be a mobile home or a stick-built home, either one. And your income limit cannot not exceed $29,500. That is all monies received. That's Social Security, retirement, any money you receive cannot exceed that. If you're a married couple, it's that same income limit. You cannot say 29. Both incomes are combined. Yes, sir. And what happens is, if you meet this criteria, you can potentially qualify for the exemption. What the exemption does for you, it gives you $25,000 or half of your tax value off, whichever is greater. So it is a help for our seniors that are on a fixed income.
That is a big help.
It is.
That's good.
We also have a veterans exemption, and these programs are statewide, not just Wayne County. This is statewide programs. The veterans exemption.
Well, we'll take credit for it.
Sure, definitely.
Sure, we will.
Yeah, we did it.
Yeah, we did it. We did it first.
The veterans exemption is for 100% disabled, honorably discharged veterans.
Wow.
And they can get certification. Yeah, they can get certification through their veterans office on that. But what it does for you, there's no income limit on that one. However, you do get $45,000 of value taken off of your property value.
Wow, that is great.
The same criteria, though. You do have to own and reside in your own home, be a North Carolina resident. All the other criteria is the same. So
that is great. Okay, anyone with any questions can call 731 something 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 something.
1461.
That's what I was going to say. That's what I was going to say. 1461 731 1461, and our guest has been Alan Lumpkin, director of our tax department. Is that your tax administrator?
Sure.
Okay.
We'll take that.
Okay.
Tag, don't matter.
Okay. This guy does something with the tax office here, and we're glad he does, because you've been with the tax office for many years now. How long have you been there?
24 years.
24 years. You should know what you're doing.
Well, you think so, hopefully. But the laws are always changing, so we never stop learning, because the laws change annually.
Alan, thank you for being with us today. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir. We are back on Wayne Goldsboro Television. I'm Wayne Alley.
And I'm Kate Daniels.
Yes, she is. And here you go. You know what I failed to do a
what
few minutes
did you
ago?
fail to do?
Last week we started asking trivia questions, and not expecting an answer from anyone necessarily, but just something for the viewers to be thinking about. And I failed to do that in the first segment, so I'm going to go ahead and ask the trivia question right now.
Okay.
The category is the Amazon, and I'll give the answer in a few minutes. The Amazon. You know, you might know this one, but don't answer. What comic book superhero is an Amazonian princess? What comic book superhero is an Amazonian princess? Now, if you know what an Amazonian is, then you may know the answer to this. If you don't know, then think about this. They're very popular. A TV show, movies, Linda Carter. Well, I just gave it away.
Yeah,
okay.
Don't give it away.
Okay, don't give it away. All right.
Don't
anyway,
give it
that's
away.
the question, and you think about that, and I'll give you the answer in a few minutes, okay?
Fantastic.
All right.
Fantastic.
Coming up.
Come on.
Coming up.
What's up?
Yeah, woo. We've got the blood drive on the 22nd. That's coming up at St. Paul United Methodist Church at 204 East Chestnut Street. St. Paul United Methodist Church having a blood drive. Starts at 1:30 on the 22nd.
Guess who's going to be there?
January. Who's going to be there?
Well, the American Red Cross.
Yeah.
Wonderful volunteers.
Okay.
I'm going to give blood that day.
Are you really?
That's my day to give
Are
blood.
you really? Are you
I'm going to be there.
I gave back on January 7th.
Well, you can't give yet then, can you?
I can't.
What's the time frame?
56 days.
56 days.
Yeah.
Very nice, very nice.
And then on the 28th, there's going to be one at the blood drive at Wayne Christian School on Patetown Road, Wayne Christian, and that starts also at 1:30 and goes till 6 p.m.
And I'll tell you, anytime that you can give blood throughout the year, you know, it's always appreciated. So you've got the schedules that you can go online and you can type in your zip code and they'll come up. I will be at the St. Paul United Methodist one on the 22nd. The one on the 28th, there is something a little extra special about that one. That is for a young gentleman at Wayne Christian. And he is going through cancer treatments.
Oh boy!
And it's the Gibson family son, and he is a wonderful young man, and he has been quite the fighter. And that school and this community is wrapping their arms around him. So if you've needed a little push to go, you know, I've never donated before, I'm a little nervous. Think about this young man. and think about what he's going through. He
Yeah.
is just a great shining star over at Wayne Christian and in our community, and we are all being good prayer warriors for him, and he's going to be all right. And but we all need to be there. So if you need a little extra push, there's a good incentive for you. It's scary sometimes, you know, if you anticipate, you know, being nervous about it. And the first time that I gave was 5 years ago, and John Bell, who's a good friend of yours and to our community, the credit union where I worked at the time, it was like 7 years ago.
7 years.
Sponsored blood drive. So if you're listening, if you are a church or an organization or you want to rally together, you can sponsor blood drives. And all that is contacting the Red Cross and saying, I want to help spread the word.
That's right.
But I donated for the first time, and John Bell stood there, and he stood right by me. And he was kind of like, he was giving me a hard time. He's like, don't faint now, don't faint. But I mean, my whole life have been terrified too. And there's nothing to it. There's nothing to it.
That's right. That's exactly right.
So, yes.
That's exactly right. Nothing to it. And just think about it. Look at it this way. Maybe if you know someone who's never given blood, you can encourage them to do it and then go stand beside them.
Go with them. Yeah.
And you know what may happen? You may run for public office and become a state representative.
Yeah, see?
Really?
See?
Yeah, really.
See? So that's some great stuff going on. And I'll back up a little bit. On the 21st, you know, we were talking about blood drives coming up. On the 21st, which is a Thursday, and it is the third Thursday of every month, we get together with business leaders and business individuals for Business After Hours. So the third Thursday of every month from 5:30 to 7, we're at a different location. So we are going to be at Everett, Womble, and Lawrence. Many of you know their reputation here in town. They're a great firm. They've been on Spence Avenue for 20-some years. Well, guess what?
What?
They've just moved.
Have they really?
They've just moved. They are on William Street, and it is right across from the post office downtown. So you in the business community will be one of the first ones to be able to walk in, see their new space, meet their staff, interact with each other, network, pass business cards, and kick off the new year great.
That building was a bank. I saw the work being done.
I don't know what the history of that building was. But isn't that neat? So Ron Lawrence and his partners are being gracious hosts coming up on the 21st, and that following week, after you donate blood at Wayne Christian on the 28th, you get a little snack in you. And get refreshed and join us for the Wayne County Chamber of Commerce annual banquet that will be that evening.
Oh, there you go.
So January is a busy time.
It is a busy time. We're getting a high sign over here. I just want to mention one more thing very quickly. Today's the birthday of Felix Sela. Now, if you don't know who Felix is, he's 3'11", just a little fellow.
Okay.
He was Ewok in Star Wars: Return of the Jedi. He was Cousin It on the Addams Family.
The hair?
Yeah, the hair. Yeah. That guy. Anyway, he came to the United States in 1955. He toured with the Ringling Brothers Circus and Ringling Brothers Barnum and Bailey. His multiple talents include bareback rider, trapeze artist, and tumbler. And he went on to become a big-time movie star, but you can't see his face. He is 78 today. Anyway, that's a wrap for right now. We're going to do this again tomorrow. Stick with us. We'll be right here tomorrow at 7 a.m., then again at noon, then again at
And what about that
5:30
trivia
p.m.
answer?
I am so glad you mentioned that. Well, I just want to make sure you were listening. Wonder Woman!
Oh,
Wonder Woman? Yeah. She was the Amazonian princess who went on to become a big-time comic book star. Wonder Woman. That's it.
There you have it.
We'll be back tomorrow. Have a great day in the meantime. And until then, I'm Wayne Alley.
And I'm Kate Daniels.
And this is Wayne Goldsboro Television.